We had fun paddling them around, but now today, the real test. Springtime jigging, farm pond, lake, wherever you can go, can be pretty productive. We're off. And today, it's pretty simple stuff. I'm gonna try a jig and let's just see what happens. Kidding. Fish on. Usually I don't like that first cast scenario. But I'm not complaining. First cast of the day. Boy, I like a jig sometimes. Not bad way to start your morning. Daggone, first cast. Makes me nervous. Makes me really nervous. There we go home now. Gosh, I hate fishing. I hate catching fish. It's even worse. Hate it so much, I'm gonna try it again. A bunch of these in here. There's got to be a big hungry mama over there somewhere. Jump. These fish are hungry. I may have just found another feature that really helps out. Is the ability to back this boat up to fight the fish. Now look what a fish we got right here. That's a nice, nice bass. There's a good, healthy bass. No, I just backed off that bank. I have to keep tension on the line. I backed out and that helped me land this fish. What a pretty animal. That's what I thought. I'm gonna throw right back in there. Maybe that was a big male with a big girlfriend. Oh my, it's just one of those days. It doesn't happen very often, it just doesn't. The size of that mouth. Wowee. I got a real fish. I mean a real fish. This may be one of the bigger bass we've ever seen on Kentucky Afield, and I'm not kidding you right here. If I can keep it on the hook. I do not want to lose this fish. It's a big fish right there. Now, once in a blue moon, you catch a fish like that right there. It's not your everyday bass. I'll tell you what, that fish is good and healthy. And we get this snapshot right here for a good picture. Click. And I'm gonna turn that fish loose and let it go back unharmed and do whatever it wants to do. I'm a little bit nervous right now, a little bit shaky. But it's just a little bit fun. I'm gonna try that. We've been out here 10 minutes and I've already had a wonderful trip. Just happened to catch it one of these days. Now, they can stop at any given time. One of those days when they're biting. And they are biting and they are hungry and are aggressive. Happy birthday to me. Merry Christmas to me. What a fish. It's one of those days that just never happen. Let me tell you something about farm ponds. There's plenty of them in Kentucky. It might be hard to get access to some of them. As a little kid, when I saw any body of water, I wanted to fish it. And I would go to the landowner and I would ask politely. And I would even say, you know, if you don't want me to take any fish out, I won't. I just want to fish. I also would say I would pick up trash. You know, I would work, I would weed eat, I would mow their yard and keep other people out if they wanted to do that. So if you play your cards right and you ask nicely, you might find yourself a fishing hole. Yeah, that's a good fish. Oh my, that's a huge bass. Look how thick the shoulders are on this thing. I do not want to lose that fish. Look, what a hog. That's a Kentucky, properly managed Kentucky farm pond bass right there. I can stick my head in its mouth. In a former life, I was in fisheries, and people ask you, how do you get a pond managed like this? Well, it's got to, first of all, if you talk to biologists, make sure you have the right species. And those typically are bass, bluegill, and maybe some channel cat. That's the result of somebody paying attention to what they're doing to their farm pond. That fish is massive, healthy, and getting ready to lay a bunch of eggs. Wow. Tell you what, this place is loaded with fish that seem to be hungry. We've been out here a couple hours and caught a bunch of fish. Usually when I have a fishing day like this, I'm by myself, nothing to document it. Everybody thinks I'm lying. It's one of those fortunate days. We're catching fish on Kentucky Afield. All right, what I'm using today is just a little Strike King 1/4 ounce jig, and I got me a super chunk green pumpkin, and I'm dipping that into some garlic dipping glue. It makes the end of that kind of yellow. I don't think enhancement hurts anything. These fish are biting anyway, but I think that little garlic smell may add to it. They sure can smell, and I'm not gonna quit what I'm doing now because it seems to be working. Now, jig fishing, to me, it's a lot of fun. If you've worm fish, you kind of get it, plastic worm fishing. You got to watch your line and wait for that bite and feel. It's a very feel type of fishing. You know what that fish is doing. You feel him on the end there. You know when to set the hook. But one thing I do like, it's not as delicate as a worm. You can jerk it and pop it and pull it. Right now, I probably need to go catch this big fish up here. I do like the sneak factor of this boat. You get up, sneak in there, and be quiet. I can go forward, I can go backwards, I can keep pressure on the line by backing out. I got a monster. I'm not even gonna hoss it because I've got too many fish. This bass is fighting so hard. I don't want to break that line. I'm telling you, I've never had a day fishing like this. I haven't even changed lures. Oh, he's barely hooked, barely hooked. Oh my, it's heavier than it looks. I'm just telling you, I mean, I like to fish and everything, but I don't have very many days like this, and I'm savoring it because these big, beefy, heavy bass, this bass fought like crazy. Look at the belly on that thing. I'm not keeping any. All these are wall hangers. No, I'm not in Florida. No, I'm not in Mexico. I'm in Kentucky. And he's wearing my arm out. That fish right there is heavy. It may be heavier than some of those other bass that look bigger, but it's just thick through the back and thick through the belly. And that one's gonna go bye-bye. That fish about ripped a rod out of my hand. Oh my, my, my. Mama told me it'd be days like this, but I didn't believe her. I've been not hossing it. It looks like a pretty good fish. Oh my. This didn't hardly fight. This has been kind of laying there. Look what a fish. One after another after another. Healthy, healthy fish. What a day. I fished this pond before. Caught a few fish, but nothing like today. I think it's a pretty decent fish. Skinny fish. I want a little jump. I'm telling you what. This is one of those days that you never, ever, ever forget. Because they just don't happen like this very often. Call it a day. Merry Christmas to me. That's the best fishing day, bass fishing day I've ever had in my life.